Hi everyone, it's been a while, but I wasn't time to post, so I haven't until now. I haven't felt the desire to do it until now because I was in that wood space again, releasing. And yesterday there was a lot of pressure, internal building up, and it seemed like the old pattern of anxiety and depression coming back. And I even asked the spirit what is going on because it felt like it was never going to go away, and like because the fatigue and that heaviness kept coming back this week. I had to check in and to ask what is going on, because we always think that we're doing something wrong, right? We want to succeed in our ascension so much that a part of us wants to control it, and the ego mind wants to know, are we on schedule, how are we doing, how we missed opportunities. And all these questions come up, all those doubts come up when there's so much darkness, like another dark night of the soul, not the one that's like extreme one, that when you feel like you're dying inside, but the heaviness of it that doesn't want to go away. It was like a heavy blanket over, and then you don't want to do anything. And it was actually a little bit weird for me yesterday because I was feeling that I didn't want to do anything, but at the same time I was aging to start traveling. And maybe that's what it is now. It's not a straightforward move to where I'm supposed to be. I am meant to take a couple of trips and to see places that I've never been, and to meet people I've never met, and to explore and expand, and to get to know myself more this way. From a hermit to someone who travels much more than I've ever imagined. Of course, I have to be mindful, and that logical mind is reminding me about the financial cost of moving around, traveling. But I think spirit really wants me to travel, so I will inquire the best way to do it. I've already agreed to go to Mount Shasta retreat in September, so that's very exciting. I wanted to go there before. Mount Shasta is the root chakra of the earth, so I'm really, really excited to feel the energy there. I've never visited, and yesterday I was very creative and crafty, and I'm proud of myself because I figured out to get there by plane, which turns out to be much more difficult than planning a trip to Egypt. I was surprised how many different scenarios I had to consider, and how creative I had to be to figure out the logistics of getting there and back. And so I used points on my card. I used points on Expedia for the room overnight, which I was not planning to take in Sacramento. But never mind all that. I succeeded in scheduling it. Now what's left is the Greyhound buses to the town. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I was at it for hours. And I don't like staring in the computer or the phone for that long, but I was determined to figure it out. And then today my son and I were talking about going to Niagara Falls upstate to see the waterfalls, and that's very exciting as well. So many places are calling me now. It's like the earth wants me to be here, the spirit wants me to be there, and my soul just wants to play. Today was delightful after yesterday's heaviness, and I am so fortunate that it has been lifted, in part because I was planning for things that made me happy. So whenever we are depressed or anxious about something, that smallest ray of hope, of joy, if we follow that thread, sometimes it gets us out of that stuckness and stagnation. So that kind of did for me yesterday. I saw a post about Lyran ascension codes, about Lyran energy, their role on earth of being leaders and remembering compassion and truth. And that melted my heart, and I was crying so much in kind of remembering and recognizing that piece of the puzzle within myself. So I welcome it back. And then that night, before going to bed last night, because the itching was just so much, I started looking for other people to see if anybody else is having the itching ascension symptom. It's gotten to a point of just driving me insane. And then I saw one lady, she was talking about spiritual itching, that sometimes we are releasing something from our emotional body and our attention is called via the itching. So I thought it was very interesting, and her suggestion was to ask Spirit to give guidance in dreams. And I had the most incredible experience last night with the dream. I had this vivid, emotional, release dream. So much darkness and pain and love. And I woke up with my heart pounding. And there was warmth right under my skin. Like immense warmth. I can't even explain. This is not a sensation of when you get hot. It's like energy has been released from the energetic body. I imagine that's how it's feeling. I don't remember feeling this sensation before or often. It doesn't happen to me often. Maybe that's, the rarity of it makes it a bit forgettable, but I think I'll remember this one because it was pretty intense with the dream and the sensations in the body when I woke up. And also around my heart there was like a magnetic vortex of pulsating energy, and I felt so open and so vulnerable, and I was feeling everything so deeply. And I had another major release while awake. It was around 3:20 in the morning. I was crying and crying, and then with that I felt so much lighter. It was a deep, darker pattern that I had in my younger years, and I felt like I released most of it back in 2012 when I was traveling to Atlanta, and I had an energy healing there with a healer. But sometimes I still feel fragments of that energy within my body, and I'm always on the lookout for that darkness. So that's what came up. No wonder the intensity that I was feeling for days and the heaviness. So yeah, during the night, that dream was so intense. I don't think I'll ever forget. There's so many dreams we dream, and then they evaporate like they were never there. They're so wispy and then they're gone. But some of us, they stay with us forever. I think this is one of those. So it was deeply healing and profound. And then I also had another dream where I was communicating with spirit and I was flying. Something was helping me fly really quickly, way up past the clouds, and I was expecting some kind of guidance, but I think it brought me back down and placed me carefully on the ground. I've missed these dreams of flying. It's been a while, I think since last year. Or maybe you had one earlier this year, but I don't know who else could relate. But those are magical dreams because you feel something is happening. It's not just your imagination. Profound experiences with spirit guides or some beings, high dimensional beings. And then there was another dream that also released a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, and then there was a lot of love. I woke up feeling that love and the gratitude that whatever happened in a dream was not the reality, but it has touched my heart in a way that keeps opening it wider and wider for the right reasons, towards the right creatures, and just in general, where we can maintain the graceful boundaries without giving ourselves, leaking our own energy and depleting ourselves. So yeah, I just wanted to share all that because it's been a tough week energetically, and I think it's like that for many of the people. No wonder we are called to stand in our foundation. And I can tell you, last few days were not easy to be in that space of sovereignty and trust, and then knowing of who you are as an infinite being. But gladly, I woke up today after all this work that's been done during the night, and it feels so much different. I feel so much lighter. I can breathe. I can see so much beauty all around me. So it's kind of back to normal. This is the normal, thankfully. I don't know what was that, but it was much needed, and it, as painful as the experience was, it's worth it. Like, it's worth it when you're on the other side of it, especially when it's just an energetic release. Nothing happened to make you grieve anything in particular in physical reality. So yeah, I'm really grateful. And also today I was filled with delight because my son and I, we went to his doctor's appointment, and by accident I noticed that there was a bakery with vegan pastries. So I squeaked in delight, and my son was like, "Ah, Mom, you scared me." But it's just so rare to find the goodies, the sweets and little treats that are vegan. So it's like I like to see stuff like that in the world, like these little blessings. I just feel like I'm surrounded by blessings today, and gratitude, so much gratitude, and love to you all. Speak to you next time. Bye bye.